stand by. Don't go anywhere. Manny V and Steve Action Jackson bringing you the live feed from the Itacoatiara Pro, sponsored by Pride, Usked.com, and net. And here we go. Heat number 2, round number 1 out on the water. Blue taking a look. That is Leonardo Costa. Oh, hold on, buddy.
Almost got sucked over on that one. He had to let go of his board not to get sucked over. That was dangerous.
Oh, my. But look where it ends up. He ends up inside of this one and barely makes. Oh, no, he's going to get cleaned up.
Oh.
That's the risk you take. If you're going to go for a wave, there could be a set after that's going to clean you up. Look at that. He pushed him in a little bit. He's maintained. He's out far enough to avoid the rest of the set. So Rafael Pimentel sent me a message saying, Manny, Itacoatiara is a native word here on the lands here in Brazil. It is spoken in the epic of the first inhabitants before the colonization, and it actually means painted rock. And you can see the painted rocks right behind Ben Player as he comes out of that heat. And Jared Houston coming up right behind Ben Player to congratulate him, and they will advance on to round number 3. And it's going to take them a few minutes to get up back into the competitors area because they're going to get slammed for photos and autographs.
Yes, there you can see a shot of our riders out in the water. Another wave coming in. Look at this one. It's just going to heave. You have to excuse us if we continue to marvel at this place because it's just been so heavy from day one. The riders got up here in advance of the competition and got to sink their teeth into 6 to 8 foot surf right off the bat. For any of you who have been seeing the clips on YouTube, on photos on the IBA World Tour website, guys like Jared Houston, Dave Winchester, Amari Laverne, Ryan Hardy, they all have been loving this place. They showed up to 6 to 8 foot clean conditions and have just been putting on epic performances, getting warmed up for this contest. And then so far for this contest, we've had big, heavy conditions like we were seeing today and even bigger the other day.
Look at this. Just still coming in. We're looking at 6 to 8 foot beach break conditions. If you want to make it out of your heats today, or actually it's a non-elimination heat, but if you want to skip and bypass round number 2 by getting first and second in your heat, you're going to have Mother Nature deliver it to you because you got to be in the right place to be able to find these little shoulders that are coming in at the middle area here at the Itacoatiara beach in Brazil. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. Manny V and Steve Action Jackson giving you the live feed.
All right, and there you can see, again, out in the water, riders waiting, biding their time. Again, 40-minute heats today for round 1, 12-wave max, top 2 waves count towards your final score. Non-elimination heat. Top 2 riders from each heat will advance to round 3. Third and fourth in each heat will move on to round 2. Both of those heats will be elimination heats.
Jackson, we got a little lull in the action. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back, everybody. Manny V here with Steve Action Jackson, giving you the live feed from the Itacoatiara Pro, sponsored by Pride, Usked.com, and net. Ladies and gentlemen, tough conditions out there. 6 to 8 foot bombs still coming in on this beach break. Again, I've been making the comparison. Pasquales and the wedge in the U.S. combined is pretty much what we are looking at out here. But because of this windstorm and the rainstorms coming through, it's still a little bumpy, still a little messy out there, so the riders do have their work cut out for them. Oh, no, I see raindrops on our window screen out front.
I think we've seen enough rain here in Itacoatiara to last us a lifetime, Manny.
No.
The last 3 days that we've been here, it's been rain, rain, and more rain. Or as the Brazilians would say in Portuguese, mais chuva.
Oh, my, Jackson, you know what? The rain is I don't want to see that again, but unfortunately, Mother Nature is going to do whatever she wants. And it looks like the beach is clearing out. Just a few people without umbrellas. They're going to head up closer and try to find a little coverage. But we are going to continue on as we march through the main event of round number 1. Heat number 2 is currently out in the water. Manny V and Steve Action Jackson we'll be bringing you the live feed as much as we can. Again, Mother Nature, it's that season, I guess. Without the rain, without the storms, we would not have these waves.
Yes, and you wouldn't have the beautiful, lush green scenery that we have
No.
surrounding the beaches and the entire area, really. Um, an amazing climate down here. I mean, it gets very hot during the summer, but winters down here are very moderate. I mean, usually the coldest you see is 50 degrees at night, great sleeping weather, and, like 80 degrees during the day, so still shorts and T-shirts and sandals. It's gorgeous down here.
So would you have rather have a winter here in beautiful Itacoatiara or winter in New Jersey where it snows on the beach?
I love where I'm from, but I'll take winter in Brazil over winter in New Jersey any day.
I've seen some photos of your crazy self on the beaches where you got to walk through the snow to get to the ice cold waters to get some crazy barrels. So props to you, Jackson, but I would never do that. I'm more of a warm weather kind of guy. And right now, we are looking at heat number 2 out in the water of round number 1. Looking at our screen right here, only one wave has been ridden so far by Jake Stone. Actually, PLC and Jake Stone are clocking in their first 2 waves, or first wave. Roberto Bruno and Leonardo Costa are waiting there for their waves to come in as well. So it looks like the camera guys are getting situated right now to find cover from the rain. I thought we had them under some tents, but it looks like they are still, yeah, they're still looking for coverage right now, just to make sure we get you handled and bring you back the live feed from the water. So Jackson, the Brazilians, they're out with a vengeance. They saw their fellow countryman Guilherme Temega lose out from a win at the last event just a couple weeks ago to Dave Winchester in the last 20 seconds of that final.
Yes, the Brazilians, very competitive bodyboarding culture here, very aggressive paddling out in the lineup, and especially during competitions. Right now, you've got 2 Brazilians out in the water, Roberto Bruno from Fortaleza and Leonardo Costa from Espírito Santo. These guys, as do all the Brazilians, they want to do well in their heats. They want to do their country proud. We saw in Chile a lot of the Chilean riders really stepping up their game to put on their best performance and make people take notice. The Brazilians trying to take advantage of that. They definitely did that during the trials.
I think what it is, too, oh, man, the venues of the 2012, 2011, and 2012 tour stops have been at the level where the top 24 can actually have a little bit of a challenge because we've hopefully have gotten past the spin to win age where the top bodyboarders go out in 2 to 3 foot waves and do mediocre maneuvers in these small conditions. But lucky for us and lucky for the viewers, the 2011 and 2012 venues on the Grand Slam series have been phenomenal. I mean, even though this is a beach break here in Itacoatiara Pro, for the Itacoatiara Pro, it's still heavy. I mean, just like Porto Escondido, that's a heavy beach break. And here for this event, it's been out of control too. So hold on to your seats.
Yes, and another thing adding to the motivation for the Brazilian riders, this is the first IBA World Tour event here in 2 years. There were 3 events in 2010 with Buzios, Catarina Melo, and the Santa Catarina, and there was no Brazilian events on the calendar last year. So a return of the IBA to Brazil has these guys extra stoked to do well out in the water and make the world take notice.
All right, so we do have a live feed of the water right now. We do have one of the 3 cameras situated, and unfortunately the action cameras are on the perimeter of the contest area, and we got to make sure those $10,000 cameras are well covered and hiding from the elements of the rain and wind. So they're going to get situated so we can come back to you with the live feed of the action cameras. But if anything's going to go down in front of that main general view camera, we will bring it to you. But again, very, very tough conditions, not only for the competitors, but also for the production of this live feed. I can't explain to you. I mean, there's just a list of things to be able to pull off a live feed from from all over the world, and this one in particular has been very, very tough. Mother Nature is pretty much controlling us right now.
Yes, and right now, just to give you a quick update of the situation out in the water, we have Jake Stone in the lead with a combined score of 8.5, a 3.75, and a 4.75 there. You can see the graphic on screen. Pierre in second with a 7.88, looking for a secondary wave. Alberto Bruno on the board with a 3.33, and Leonardo Costa still looking to get on the board with his first wave.
All right, so we do have some of the top riders who will be coming in to the hot seat. Look at this down the beach. It is PLC pulling to a massive barrel down the beach. And I think he just pulled in, didn't do any maneuvers, just trying to get barreled. And PLC, that is not going to be a high-scoring wave, but it is going to add on to what he has so far on his scorecard.
That was a heavy-looking wave, Manny. He pulled into that, set his line as soon as he
Look at
did
this.
the section, sectioned off on him. Meanwhile,
Oh, my!
wow, Alberto Bruno with a nice wave there. Nice arcing roll, good projection. That should be a good score for Alberto Bruno.
Yeah, you saw the projection that he got off of that roll and just shot him out into the flats. A very good score right there for Roberto Bruno. He will definitely score higher than PLC's big closeout barrel, and we're going to have our scores come down, and we're going to report those to you ASAP. Again, we apologize for the one action camera that we have going on right now. Those two cameras on the perimeter are being situated to make sure that they are not. We need those cameras, so they need to be covered from the elements. The rain is seriously kicking in from the side, and the winds are too. So those two are going to get situated. But for now, we're going to bring you this general view, no matter what.
Yes. Yeah, Mother Nature doing her best to throw as many curveballs at us and our broadcast crew as possible during this contest window so far. I have to give a lot of credit to everybody. The event organizer, Giuliano Lara, the IBA staff, the technical director, Alex Leon. Everybody has been doing their best to deal with the situation as it's dealt to us. And it's been insane around here. So a lot of respect to everybody involved here to make sure that we're on the air, up and running, and doing the best that we can.
I mean, there's a couple seconds where we almost lost the entire internet feed, so we're lucky to have what we have here. I mean, yeah, the trying times right now, not only for the competitors, but for the entire production crew. So we thank you all for tuning in for the Itacoatiara Pro, sponsored by Pride, usked.com, and Net. Manny V with Steve Action Jackson and everybody tuning in. Simon Hogson from Vico is checking in. And again, everybody for tuning in. We appreciate it. The action cameras are getting situated, but we do have one camera on the water right now, and this is what it looks like currently out in the water. Do we have that camera? Yeah, there it is.
There we go. And score dropped for Alberto Bruno on that last wave of his, a 4.08. Doesn't improve his position any, but it does help his situation, giving him 2 higher scores than what he had.
Jake Stone down the beach in the red jersey waiting for those little left wedgers coming off the rock down there. And that might be where everybody's going to be creeping in over there, but they have to be careful because right in front of the judges is where the bigger sets are rolling through. Down the beach, there is a little bit more shoulder, but the waves are smaller, so somebody can actually, score higher doing one big maneuver on the bigger waves than what Jake Stone probably will be doing is looking for the combination moves on the smaller waves.
Yes, and that section over there, that's the part of Itacoatiara known as Cushdown. It's the left side of the break over here. Again, multiple breaks here. We're seeing our riders mostly at Cushdown and Mayo, the middle here during competition. Down the beach to the right of us, if you're standing looking at the beach, there's also Pampos, Prainha, and then further outside on the bigger swells, the Shock. But again, our focus on Cushdown and Mayo, and Jake Stone sitting over towards the rocks by Cushdown, hoping to get one of those little side waves off the rocks and get a nice little left.
Once again, thank you for tuning in to the Itacoatiara Pro, sponsored by Pride, usec.com, and Net. And we do have Samuel Ross tuning in from Tassie, Zach from Port Macquarie, Bill Porter, who's tuning in, Kevin in Perth, Adam in the UK, Cornwall, and I just saw a video of Cornwall, or actually the UK. Laura Newberry put something up on the net and put it on my site, on my Facebook, and it's pretty nice. 4 years of compilation of videos that she put together. Pretty awesome.
Yes, I was looking over your shoulder watching a little bit of that. Some nice waves in the UK. Definitely someplace to check out sometime in the future.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you're not in the UK, you are tuning in live right here. This is the Itacoatiara Pro, and you know what? Out in the water, it's it's trying times for the competitors. I mean, they are out in 6 to 8 foot conditions. The winds are on a side shore, which has been better. It's been onshore for the trials, but it's very very tough. But lucky for the competitors, this is a non-elimination round. 40 minutes per heat, 12 wave maximum, and top 2 waves will be scored. First and second will advance on to round number 3, bypassing round number 2. Third and fourth place finishers in this round will go into round number 2. Round number 2 is an elimination round, and third and fourth, we'll call it an event in round number 2.
Yes, and just to give you a heads up, coming up in Heat 3 of Round 1, we're going to see Amaury Laverne, Andrew Lester going against the Brazilians Lucas Faria and João Zeke, the trialist wildcard.
All right, downstairs we do have Alex Leon with the winner of the first heat. Alex, where you at, brother?
Yeah, thanks, boys. Yeah, down there with that heat winner, Ben Player. Benny, talk about getting thrown in the washing machine, mate, and just put on full spin.
Yeah, it was pretty hectic out there. It was some big sets. I got caught inside by a pretty big one and got a little bit of stuff coming out the back, so I was crapping myself, It was pretty scary.
And your strategy, you took that first small wave and managed to get a backflip in, and that was key to getting your score higher.
Yep. Yeah, it was definitely like the inside ones are more open faces, so you get more chance to get some moves in and get a bigger score. The bigger ones are just kind of thrashing you around and yeah, they just got so much power. It's like surfing Waimea shore break in Hawaii, but this is a competition and you got to go it and you got to give it everything,
Yeah, well done, Benny. Well, you moved into the third round now, so you skip around. You must be pretty stoked.
Yeah, pretty stoked because the conditions look pretty good for next week. Monday, Wednesday and Thursday will look pretty insane, so I just want to make it as far as I can and get a chance to get this on.
Yeah, well done, Benny. You want to say hello to anyone back home?
Tobes, Mum, Dad, anyone else that's watching, any future wives, g'day, how you going?
All right, back to you boys up in the booth.
Himself, I mean, but he pretty much said it with those 2 words right there. It is heavy out there, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Itacoatiara Pro, and we are here in Niterói at Itacoatiara Beach, and it is heavy and pounding for the first round of the main event. Ben Player winning that first heat. He will advance on to round number 3. Whew, it's heavy.
Yeah, we can't emphasize it enough, folks. It's just been intense so far here in Brazil for this competition. We've seen it with the trialists. We're seeing it here in round 1 with the top guys in the main event.
Jake Stone in the white jersey in heat number 2 down the beach, trying to look for those little shoulders down the way. Yellow, it is Roberto Bruno, who's also in that area, trying to wait for those nice clean shoulders that we've been seeing coming off the rock, wedging up into the middle part of the wave. But PLC and Leonardo Costa are actually closer right in front of the judges. Look at this, down the beach. It is Roberto Bruno.
Roberto Bruno dropping in on this one, catching some chop and bouncing down the face, losing his speed, throws a pocket spin, resets, kicking hard, trying to drive down the line, looking for an oncoming section, throws a nice carving reverse, drops into this little inside section, gets a roll. He maximized the use of that smaller wave off to the side at Cashtown, and that may work to his benefit. I think that might top the 2 scores he has at the moment.
Yeah, Roberto Bruno is looking for a 4.43 to jump into that second place spot. And currently out in the water, PLC is leading the charge. Jake Stone in second. Roberto Bruno, his score from that last wave has yet to drop. Leonardo Costa has yet to catch his first wave.
Yeah, I don't know what Leonardo Costa's strategy is, but right now it looks like it may be working to Jake Stone and Roberto Bruno's benefit to have moved over and try and catch those little side wedges coming off in the left breaking over there at Cashtown here in Itacoatiara.
Leonardo Costa comes to us from the trials. He came in 7th, the last one to come in the trials. But here's another look at Roberto Bruno.
Hey, you can see dropping in on that one, literally bouncing down the face. Manages to set his rail and throw right into a spin as soon as he set his rail. Then resets his line, driving down. He throws into a carving reverse, sets up for the inside section. You'll see this little double up. He sets up and hits a nice clean roll off of that.
He was able to he managed to pull off a nice combination of maneuvers, even though it was really bumpy, and hold his rail. So Roberto Bruno, he is still waiting for that score to drop. still 32 years young, Roberto Bruno, one of the top bodyboarding Brazilian competitors on the tour.
Yes, coming to us from Fortaleza in the state of Sierra. Fortaleza, actually the state capital there, and up and riding in blue.
Look at him trying to maintain that board, keeping it on the water. Nice. Oh, forcing a roll right there, but that's not going to help him. You can see, he can feel how frustrated he is. And look at him. He looked like he was off of that wave, but he got sucked back into the inside. Now he's got to have to battle waves like this. Look at that thing.
We've been talking constantly about how heavy that inside is, and you don't want to get stuck in there. All the current, all the pounding, shore break on the inside there. It's breaking so hard. We're seeing waves spit. We're seeing waves blow out the back. It's heavy.
You just got to be in the right place to catch that wave. And Jake Stone and Roberto Bruno are down the beach. Jake Stone turning around in the white jersey. Look at this.
Jake Stone dropping in, getting a nice section,
Oh.
going for an arrow spin or a flip, and unable to get it around. Just got kind of stuck in the lip on that one.
Yeah, Roberto Bruno and Jake Stone are trying their luck down the beach, trying to get these little left wedgers off the rock, and Jake Stone not able to pull that off. And look at that rip current just tearing across the beach right there. That thing you don't want to be in. If you're ever, this is just a little side note for all the bodyboarders or swimmers or whoever's tuning in. You ever get caught in a rip current, never paddle straight in to the beach. Always to get out of a rip current, paddle horizontal and parallel with the beach. So just a little lifeguard tip right there. I'm sure all of the bodyboarding lifeguards will appreciate that. But here we are in heat number 2, round number 1. PLC still leading the charge.
Yes, right now PLC in the lead with a 7.88 and a 2. He sits in front of Jake Stone right now, who has a 3.75 and a 4.75.
Welcome to Brazil.
There you can see people coming out. Despite the occasional rain we have today, the sun has been popping out, people cruising around, grabbing some food to eat, enjoying the action out in the water. It's a full-on scene here, Manny.
It's unbelievable. A lot of these events that the IBA World Tour is showing up at, look at that little dredger right there. Oh, that's a heat winner for sure. But, oh my, there's some bombs coming in, ladies and gentlemen. But the location, getting cleaned up. The locations where the venues on the 2012 IBA World Tour have been bodyboarding spots. El Gringo just mobbed with bodyboarders. And here is another location where bodyboarders are all over the place. And I'm not talking about the guys who go over to the Kmart or Walmart and buy these little, cheap boards. I'm talking about the people who have the passion and dedication and the cojones to go out in waves like this. If this was any other day, you would see some of the top Brazilian bodyboarders out there. Look at Jake Stone just getting a pounding down the beach.
Oh, yeah, it's just...
He's got to watch out for that rock. Looks like he's getting pushed into that rock.
That inside, the inside of this entire stretch here at Itacoatiara has just been brutal. Trialists, top pro riders, seasoned veterans. Guys traveling here for the first time. Look at Jake Stone fighting the current and the power of those waves on the inside.
It looks like he's just getting worked down the beach. I mean, a lot of energy is being expelled right now from Jake Stone's, and hopefully he has his potassium and his bananas on lock from this morning down the beach. PLC taking a look at this right-hander.
Manny, look at this set PLC just dropped into.
Yes.
Driving down, setting up,
Hold
looking
your
for a
horses.
section. Oh, my, big
my! That was massive.
Wow.
Holy mackerel. Ladies and gentlemen, PLC getting some serious air time, but could not hold on.
He boosted on that one.
Woo!
He came to a dead stop on that landing and just got eaten up by the whitewater. Here you can see the replay.
All right, here he is setting up, and if you ever see PLC eyeing up a lip section, you cannot turn your face because you will miss something like this. Just a perfect timing, throws it inverted, and look at that. He was about 10, 12 feet above the water, holds onto his board, and cannot maintain as that wave just comes crashing down on him. PLC going big, unfortunately could not hold on. That was huge.
Oh, man. Manny, my ribs hurt just from watching that. He had his legs out to brace for the landing, and he still came down and, heavy.
PLC, your 2011 current world champion, and that right there is one of the reasons why he is your world champion. He's just going big. You have to go big if you want to be a world champion here on the 2012 Grand Slam Series IBA World Tour PLC. His last score came in at a 2.15, but that's not going to help him. He is now looking for a wave to look for a better 2.5. And here's what's out in the water. Leonardo Costa, what's going on?
Leonardo with a 1.7 on his first wave. Still doesn't have a second wave under his belt. He still has just under 15 minutes remaining, though, so he still has time, to collect himself, choose wisely and put something together.
All right, we have all the people in Santa Catarina tuning in, and down the beach, Jake Stone finds a nice shoulder, clean, but not much there for Stoney, so he's going to paddle back out. Santa Catarina tuning in, and they are watching live, and they are going for their fellow countrymen, the Brazilians.
There you can see Stoney paddling back out, lucky to get through the inside section pretty much unharmed this time around, not having to work as hard as he was having to work over by the rocks. And I'm still caught up on that invert from Pierre.
Oh,
what you were saying, you have to be aggressive in the pro ranks on the World Tour.
Here's a nice view. Jackson, look at this. You can see how big that is. I mean, it's just a massive amount of water coming out straight out of the ocean and just unloading on the shallows here at the beach break of Itacoatiara for the Itacoatiara Pro.
And here you can see another set coming through and closing out.
Woo!
Just a wall of white water.
Oh,
That's like
my.
a giant liquid fist you don't want to be on the connecting end of.
That's right. And you know what? When these sets come in, you can actually feel it up on the cliff. I mean, look at that thing just unloading. And this is what the bodyboarders are competing in. I mean, this is bodyboard country, Brazil. This is a bodyboarding wave. And here is Andrew Lester getting ready for his next heat.
Yeah, there you can see Andrew Lester. Joining him out in the water will be Amari Laverne, Lucas Faria, and João Zeke. João Zeke from here in Niterói. He is one of the two wild card trialists that made it through to the main event. We actually saw both of our wild card trialists make it through to the main event. So we'll see João Zeke coming up later in the next heat with Andrew Lester.
Andrew Lester is now in the top 24. He qualified last year, and you know what? He was just living his life and said, you know what? I'm going to throw my hat in the ring here on the qualifying tour. Next thing you know, here he is as one of the top contenders for a world title in 2012. And look at this thing shaping up. Nice right-hander coming in for Leonardo Costa, but way too deep in that. That thing just ate itself.
And I don't know if you saw it, folks. Maybe we'll get a replay. But he took off on that caught chop going up the face of the wave.
Yep.
Bounced, lost all his speed, got sucked up the face, and then actually punched through the roof before getting sucked over the falls. That's just, that's brutal.
That was hectic right there. Here's another look right here. You can see how deep it is. It looked like it was going to form up, but that one chop right there just disengaged his rail. Wasn't enough. He didn't have enough speed to regain it and pull back into the barrel and maintain that speed, and you can see he just got pulled over the falls. And the time it took for him to get back on his board, I guarantee one or two of his fins came off. Luckily he had fin tethers, but yeah, he just got annihilated.
Yep.
Shout out to Zach tuning in from Port Macquarie. It's almost 1 o'clock. It is 1 o'clock in the morning there. Amaury Laverne getting ready to get out into his heat, and Cade Wood, Gold Coast, Murray Thompson in the West Coast of Australia, and our boy from Portugal, Juan Santos. Juan Santos is bodyboarding. We're going to see him in Portugal. And here we go. Amaury Laverne getting a little help from the organizer's girlfriend. That is Nicole, who is always there. And believe it or not, in that little bag, she has a little chihuahua.
Yeah, she's got a little chihuahua in the bag, and she's been running around helping her fiance, Juliano Lara, the event organizer, making sure everything's taken care of. There you can see her rolling up the sleeves on the long sleeve rash cards for Amaury Laverne for the next heat.
Amaury Laverne, your 2010 world champion. So he's put in some time here on the world tour, and here he is making another bid for a world title. But first, heat number 3, we will see Amaury Laverne, but currently out in the water. 10 minutes, 30 seconds remaining.
And that was Jake Stone taking a look at that one. Before that, you could see the Brazilians out in the water. Alberto Bruno in yellow, Leonardo Costa in blue, paddled back out to the lineup, made it back out in one piece. These guys still battling. We still have 10 minutes left. Leonardo Costa still looking to put together a couple of decent rides. He's got low scores at the moment. He currently sits in fourth. But still time to put together 2 solid scores and improve his position. Maybe try and get that second spot away from Jake Stone so he can skip round 2 and go directly to round 3.
All right, currently out in the water, heat number 2 of round number 1. Jake Stone dunking under this massive wall of water right there. Finally, some of my IB boys are tuned in. Ted Turner, what up, dog? IB guys, I don't think they own computers. I mean, they're just out in the water. They're just making sure they get their water time. And if they get on a computer, they probably don't know what to do with it. So, Teddy, make sure you get the rest of the boys tuned in to make sure you watch this live action out the back.
Leonardo Costa bouncing down the face of that wave, and then it's going to shut down on him. Not much to work with there, but at least this time he didn't get put through the ringer like he did the last time.
I mean, you might stand corrected. He's still right there in the whitewater trying to figure out what is going on in this.
Stuck on the inside. And when I talk about getting stuck in the ringer, getting sucked over, I'm not saying it's not anything against our riders. It's just the conditions they're dealing with. Some of our more seasoned veterans, even in their free surfs, have been coming out of the water and telling us, I just got worked out there.
Yeah, Ben Player during his interview after winning that first heat, I mean, he pretty much said it. It's pretty hectic out there, and to be able to compete in this stuff, you got to be at your top of your game, and we're going to see that throughout round number 1 of the main event here. So Josh Munro and Finbar tuning in from the Sunshine Coast, and it is 1 in the morning. Thank you all for tuning in, even though it's, in the wee early mornings or the late night and across the world. And the Californians, where you at? If you're tuning in, let me know on Google Plus IBA World Tour profile page. Manny V here with Steve Action Jackson giving you the live feed from the Itacoatiara Pro, sponsored by Pride, usec.com and net. So this is it, people. We have finally started the main event, round number 1, and we have had 2 days of some heavy conditions, very rough and messy conditions for the trials, but the Brazilians stood their ground. 7 of the 8 semifinalists advanced on, and all those semifinalists were Brazilians. So the Brazilians ready to rock and roll, but we haven't yet seen one of them come out firing. We've seen the top 24 in the first 2 heats coming out and showing their strategies and their skills.
Yes, so far, veteran experience on the World Tour coming out in the first heat with Ben Player winning and advancing on, along with Jared Houston from South Africa. But it's tough for everybody out there right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, taking a look out in the water, you can just see it, just a ton of water straight out of the Atlantic, heavy conditions. Jake Stone in the white jersey, taking a look at this one, but just look at this wave just form up. As soon as it gets to the inside, it just builds up and a giant wall comes in. And we saw earlier, 2 guys paddling for a wave, and you can just see how fast it's coming in. Jake Stone taking another look right there. Look at this thing, just unloading, just a big clean barrel, but nowhere to go. This is what I call a comparison between Puerto Escondido and the Wedge put together. Here's the current situation out in the water.
Yeah, there you can see PLC in the lead, Jake Stone in that second spot, Alberto Bruno in the yellow jersey, and Leonardo Costa from Brazil as well in the blue jersey. Both of those riders looking to step it up here in the final 6+ minutes. There you can see sets still coming in. Lots of lines on the horizon. There's lots of swell pumping in through here. And unfortunately, with a lot of the set waves, they're closing out, and the winds aren't quite offshore yet, still kind of side shore. But again, Pierre up and riding.
All right, PLC taking a look at this left-hander. He knows he just needs one big move, and that was it, a big roll on that wave right there. PLC, he is one of those guys who knows what he has to do to advance on. He is your 2011 world champion. PLC putting together a nice wave right there. Woo!
Yeah, just a reminder for everybody who doesn't remember the 2010 Buzios Pro here in Brazil. PLC got his first ever career win here in Brazil 2 years ago. I'm sure he wouldn't mind adding a backup win in Brazil to his resume.
And you know what, looking right now, he's just taking that commanding lead. But a 2.15 that PLC got earlier in this heat was for a gigantic aerial maneuver that he was not able to pull off, and we'll probably show that to you before the end of the heat. But PLC's giant air is just an example of what kind of dedication and kind of effort you need to put into these conditions if you want to advance on. So PLC, we're going to see more of him in round number 3, I'm sure.
And it was Jake Stone taking a look at that last wave and thought the better of it. Here we have a replay of PLC up on this wave.
Yeah, PLC, as you can see, he decided to go straight off the bottom. Didn't even get to the bottom. Actually had mid-face turn to pull off a nice, clean barrel roll. He knew he needed a second solid wave right there, so that wave is coming down the pipeline right there. So nice, clean roll for PLC.
And there you can see more waves coming in, just unloading on the sandbar. And 4.5 minutes remaining. Pierre remains in the lead with a 7.88 and a 5.33 is his high scores. Jake Stone follows him up in second place with a combined 8.5. And again, currently in third, Alberto Bruno with a 4.08 and a 4.03 for a combined 8.11. And Leonardo Costa with a 1.7 and a 1.5 so far in this heat. Having a little trouble getting it together, putting together the scores he needs. Unfortunately, the waves he's taken have mutated on him and given him not a lot to work with.
Again, this is a non-elimination round, round number 1. What that means is first and second place will advance on to round number 3, and third and fourth will go into round number 2. Hey, good morning, bom dia. Give me some more Portuguese words to throw out.
Bom dia.
All right. Bom dia, obrigado, felicidades, uno, dos, tres. Welcome to the Itacoatiara Pro, here sponsored by Pride, USEC.com, and Net. You just fell apart on me.
I just keep biting my tongue this morning, Manny.
How long have you been in Brazil?
I've been in here for a while, but this morning I'm just tongue-tied. I'm so amped on what's going on out in the water and the swell coming through that I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself on a couple of occasions and tripping over my own tongue. Portuguese doesn't come easy to me to begin with, but this morning I've just been silly.
All right. Well, you know what that means. We need to get 4 more cups of coffee in you and 6 more sugar-free Red Bulls.
14 more cups of coffee, please. So anyway, just to backtrack a little so I get this right and I don't insult our Brazilian hosts and my Brazilian friends. Bom dia, third time's a charm. Bom dia, meus amigos.
There you go. Bingo. You got it.
There we go.
Look at that. Just a beautiful backdrop. That big old mound of rock is situated on that far end over there. And when there's something big like this showing up in the town, everybody shows up, rain or shine. And believe me, if there was more sun, we would have more people on the beach. But it comes down to bringing you the live feed right here. So you can, if you are down the beach and you don't want to come down, you can just pop this on your phone or on your laptop computer, on your desktop computer, because we do have 2 live streams going down, HD on the PC and on your phone, so you have no excuse for not tuning in. In fact, Kent Hatashita from Osaka, Japan is also tuning in. I don't know if you're on your computer, but Ohio daimasu.
Manny, eu preciso mais café.
Welcome.
What I just said is I need more coffee.
All right, yellow. Roberto Bruno waiting patiently out in the water. Jake Stone in second place. Leonardo Costa with 3 waves, none of those over a 2-point score. So Leonardo, he might just, you know what, check this off as just warm up and come back in round number 2 to battle it out. But Leonardo Costa has to shake off the nerves. Roberto Bruno, same thing. He has 2 4.08 and 4.03 scores, but that has to come in. There they are.
You can see on the beach, Jessica
Wait a
Becker,
second.
Isabel Souza, meanwhile out in the water up and riding.
Roberto Bruno must have heard, frustration right there, slapping his board. Very upset, trying to figure out what is going on. Why can't I find these shoulders? But you know what? He's getting out there as soon as he can because there is a set coming in, and you do not want to be on the inside when these monsters are coming in. Look at this thing.
Look at it
Oh,
stand
no.
up, Manny. This
Get
thing's
under
just
that.
gonna.
You don't want to be there right now. He's probably getting sucked over and just getting through that wash cycle right there. Keeping an eye on Roberto Bruno. Yeah, he didn't make it under that. He's probably just, look at all the sand just churning. And he has to deal with this one as well. So as what I was saying, this is a cross between Porto Escondido and the wedge, which means there is no channels here. It is a beach break. If you want to make it out to the outside, you got to go straight out, deal with the sets, and look at Roberto Bruno caught on the inside.
struggling to paddle through that churning water. It's just circling currents out there right now in that white water on that inside. Here comes another one he's going to have to duck under. Fortunately, he gets through the face of this one. But it's just unbelievable the amount of power, the amount of current going through the water on that inside there. There you can see very churned up, very difficult to get through.
Well, for the last minute or so, Roberto Bruno has been trying to make it out, but the heat has ended, so that energy has been lost. And that looks like what we're going to end up with. So PLC and Jake Stone, the two veterans, advancing on to round number 3, bypassing round number 2. Roberto Bruno and Leonardo Costa are now going